everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Hannah and today's video, as you can see from the title, is another review, another one, on the new and updated sort of e.l.f. foundation and concealer. If you want to see what my thoughts are on the e.l.f. foundation and concealer, then stay tuned. I did go to an e.l.f. event yesterday. I enjoyed it very much, so if e.l.f. team are watching, which probably not, thank you so much for inviting me. So when I was there, I ended up picking up 3 concealers and 4 foundations. So yeah, I originally tried the foundation ages ago when e.l.f. first came out of that foundation. Now I think that this new foundation's updated. It's the same one, I think, but I think the formula's been updated because I could be completely honest, I wasn't a fan of it. The shade range wasn't as good. I don't know how many shades are in this foundation, like the updated version, but I did pick up 4 shades in the medium section, but I think there was an average shade range. It could be better. The 4 foundation shades that I picked up were Toffee, which is medium with pink undertones, which is, I think, probably going to be too dark. We have Cashew, which is with medium with olive undertones, which would probably be too dark for me too. We have Linen, which is medium with golden undertones. That might work. Then we have Almond, which is with peachy undertones, which could work as well. What I do know is this is a satin finish. It's oil free. Apparently it's supposed to be a full coverage foundation that blends naturally to like a sort of a semi-matte satin finish. So yeah. Okay, so I've swatched all 4 shades of the foundation on my face. The undertones obviously are very different. I would say these are more tan shades than medium. I don't know if I'm going to actually find a reference at all. This is the shade Almond, this is the shade Linen, this is the shade Cashew, and lastly, that is the shade Toffee. Like I said, Almond, Linen, Cashew, Toffee. They have dried down a little bit darker. Definitely not this shade. I don't know, I think I'm going to have to go for this shade right here, even though it's probably going to be too dark still. Going now with primer. The primer I've been loving is the Revolution Star Primer. It's a water gel primer. It doesn't smell great because I think it's because of the extract that's in it, but anywho. Okay, so I'm all primed. Now I'm going to go into the foundation. So I'm going to go, as I said, the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. Oh, just for reference, that's what the packaging looks like. I think this retails for £7.50, which is not too bad. Not too bad at all because the concealer is £5. So yeah, it's cruelty free, which is good. I'm just reading the back now. So I'm going to go in with the shade Almond. The pump's a little bit like rough. Like it's not a controllable pump. Like you can't help what you put on sort of thing. It's a little bit difficult to put on. So I'm going to grab my blank canvas Cosmetics F20 brush and I'm just going to start to blend this in. Is this supposed to be fragrance free? I don't think it's fragrance free. It has a slight like flowery scent to it. Like it's not overbearing, but you can tell it's like really fresh. Okay, so I've blended it in with a brush, but I think I need to go over with a sponge. I'm just going to start to blend this in with a sponge just to buff out any streaks and lines. But if I come up close to you, you can definitely see my skin under this foundation. I think it's definitely like a satin matte. I think it's more matte than anything. Bearing in mind we did like prime, which gave us a little bit of hydration. But I will say, I actually think this claims to be a full coverage foundation. I don't think it's full coverage. That's definitely at the back. And bearing in mind, we used a pump on each cheek. So I don't actually mind this coverage though. I think as I'm getting older and my skin is getting better and I'm loving my skin, I don't really mind having such a, not a huge amount of coverage. I think the shade Almond is pretty decent for me. What do you think? I think the shade Almond is quite a good match actually. I do have a few dry patches on my forehead and it has clung to it a little bit, which isn't the greatest, but it doesn't really bother me. That's not covered anything. Like I've got pigmentation that you can still see. Like here, you've got my scars that are just seeping through. I feel this is more of like a light BB cream in a sense. Like it's not really a full coverage foundation. I'll definitely wear this out, don't get me wrong. Like you guys know that I love my full coverage, so I'm always going to judge it against that, but it's nowhere near a full coverage. You can still see my scarring. Do you see what I mean by it's like a slight BB cream? That's how I feel it is. So now onto something that I'm really excited for, are the concealers. Here we have the e.l.f. concealer. This is what it looks like. This retails for £5 in Superdrug. I picked up the shade medium sand, medium peach, and for contouring, deep cinnamon. So this is the 16-hour camo concealer. So the doe foot applicator is quite big. That is what the doe foot applicator looks like. It's quite big. So it says a large doe foot applicator applies a creamy formula evenly and precisely for maximum coverage. In addition, the versatility of the wand allows you to sculpt, contour and highlight, which I quite like. I prefer sometimes a bigger wand because you can just get it on quicker. And the formula, the intense pigment is full coverage but won't set into fine lines, courtesy of its oil balancing formula that leaves behind a matte finish. So yeah. This retails for £5. You can get it on elf.co.uk, well, elfcosmetics.co.uk. It should already be out in Superdrug because it launches in February, which is this month. So it's cruelty-free and 100% vegan, which is good. Like I said, this is what the packaging looks like. I really like it. Like, it's really sophisticated for e.l.f. I'm really happy with it. Let me open this up for you. The doe foot is huge, as you can see. It's really big. So these are the 3 swatches. We have medium peach, medium sand and deep cinnamon. If I come up, say by first impressions of swatching it, the consistency was thick. So if you're not really into thick concealers, then I probably would stay away from it. I am going to go in with the shade medium sand. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to put on. It's very light, like. I think for medium sand, this is really fair. Is it not? What I'm going to do is I'm going to blend this in and then, yeah. I look a bit ghostly. Yeah, the medium sand is too light. I'm not really feeling this base. I feel it blends out okay, but not easily. In a sense, like my beauty blender had to like literally go in and just literally blend for ages. And I feel as I keep blending it, the coverage disappears. Like, I can still see my vein. Probably with a deeper colour or like a more colour that would fit me, it would look better. But I feel like my under eyes are really ghostly, like really pale. I'm going to go in with contour now. I'm just going to go in with this shade because there needs to be I need to be saved right now. I really do, because this just looks a bit wild. Again, I'm just going to start to blend this in. Definitely highlighted and contoured. I think I put a little bit too much of the contour on. I do prefer the contour than the for concealer. Like, I definitely feel it's more of a contouring thing. I don't know what I'm feeling about this. I think it's not my favourite foundation and concealer I use, but if I come up, it does look nice. Like, it's not like super full coverage or anything. It looks nicer now. It's more dried down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it, do the rest of my face, come back to you, wear this for a couple of hours, and then let you know my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm back. I've done the rest of my face. I went around, done a few chores in my house, looked after like my family, done all that jazz. I'm back on my lips. For those going to ask, I've got the Huda Beauty Demi Matte in Day Slayer, with the lip liner Mudslide from Gerard Cosmetics. If I go in the mirror, I think my base looks decent. Not like, yeah, amazing. Oh, my hair. Not like, oh yeah, amazing, like I'm in love. It's okay. Do you know what? If I was to go out on a daily basis and I had to go to work or something like that, this would be something I'd go for. I think if you're just very if you're an everyday makeup sort of person, I would definitely recommend you probably getting this, because it'd probably be more for you. I do like the contour shades. They're a little bit orangey, but I could probably find a better shade. I definitely need a different shade in concealer. However, now that I've got everything, I've powdered all of that, it does suit me a little bit. I think the foundation shade is pretty good. So I did alright there. I think if I go up in a mirror, like, you can still see spots and all of that. Just, that's a natural scar actually. Still see pigmentation and things like that. But you know what? If you're okay with that, get it. Bear in mind it's £7.50. It's not as cheap as the Revolution foundations, which give you full coverage, but it's okay. I think the concealers, if I got the right shade, would probably be pretty nice. The only thing I don't like about it, and that's just personal preference, not anything to the brand or anything like that, I don't really like drying concealers, and I feel this concealer's a little bit dry to like move around. It's not a wet concealer, it's thick and it's dry, so I find it quite difficult to blend in, but when it is blended in, it does give you quite a nice finish. My eyes haven't creased, which is good, because you need to set this though. I feel like you need to set this concealer, otherwise it will crease, but that's with any concealer anyway. But I feel now that it's set, it's not creased. I think that concealer has really helped to not allow that foundation to touch to dry patches. Like, it's got a hydrating element in a sense. Sounds silly, but it's not it's not attached to any dry patches. Even the foundation's not accentuating anything. What it does do is the only thing it does accentuate is like your peach fuzz. So if you have peach fuzz, it's gonna accentuate that, and it does sit nice on the skin. Like, I don't feel like I've got foundation on. It's very lightweight. The only thing I can feel on my face right now is lipstick and eyelashes, so that's a good sign. But yeah, I feel it looks pretty decent. It's not my favourite, I'm just going to shove it out there, but it's a review. It's pretty good. I think the shade range, obviously with anything, I always say with foundations, and any foundation I do, the shade range could be improved. But I think it's pretty good. I think it's not a terrible foundation or concealer. I think I prefer the concealer more than the foundation. Or actually, I don't know. I think they're both as good. I think the formula of the foundation is definitely improved, I feel, but it's still not a full coverage. So if you want a full coverage, I'm worried that because it's such a thick foundation and that you have to put quite a lot on, I'm worried that if you pile it on, it's going to get cakey. I haven't tried it, but I don't know. This is pretty good. If you're an everyday person, you just want to slap on any foundation, you want to get your mum something, then definitely yeah. But if you're like into Instagram and you do all the crazy looks and you go out and you go glam, like clubbing and things like that, and you're more into full coverage foundation, it's probably not for you. This is more of an everyday basis. But you know what, I like that, this versatility in a sense, because a lot of foundations every day, a lot of like full coverage, and it's all about competition. But when you're something that's a little bit different, a little bit more natural, every day, it's nice, because sometimes you don't really want to be wearing a full coverage foundation every day. So I give pros to that. The only con is I think it's not the best formulation. I think it's definitely not full coverage. That's just my personal opinion, but it's good. It's not like amazing. It's not like, oh my god, yes, you definitely need it. If someone asked me foundations that are like super full coverage and that long lasting, things like that, I wouldn't say e.l.f. But if they were to be like to me, what's a good everyday one that I could just wear, I'm not really too fussed about the coverage, e.l.f. I would probably mention it. And to be honest, it's definitely a drugstore foundation. It's not something that I would, if this was to be £30–40, I would not bother. And I don't mean that in a horrible way, I just think it's not worth the money. But I think for £7.50, it's quite a good average. It's average. It's not like something I'm going to gravitate towards. But if I was to go out one day and I just wanted a base, I'm definitely obviously going to try this out more. But if this was something I was going to go out every day and do, then yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to just comment in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply to them. Also, please follow my Instagram, because I'm always active on there and it's easy to get hold of me on. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up. And if you're new here, welcome, or like thank you for staying. If you stayed up to here, I'd love if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on when Hannah posts. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. What was I going to say? Hopefully my next couple of videos are going to be reviews as well. Like, I've got the L'Oreal concealer coming, the Beauty Blender foundation. So yeah, I've got quite a few reviews coming up. So if that's something you're interested in, then please stay tuned. I love all of you and I hope you guys take care, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!